How do you detach when you struggle with abandonment? I can tell you that I know what it feels like to struggle from a fear of abandonment. I was raised in a very dysfunctional home. My father was an alcoholic. There was physical violence in that home and a lot of verbal abuse, a lot of yelling, a lot of fighting. And I was the oldest, and I took on the role of having to protect my mom from my dad and having to help her and take care of her, and later my younger siblings. So I found myself in my marriage when I got married when I was 20, extremely reactive. And I didn't know where it would come from. Like I was super dependent on my husband. He was 27. He had a job, but I was like very insecure around his friends, around his dad. They were very close. That made it really hard for me to deal with that. They were overly close, but I was also very threatened by him being close. So I very easily felt abandoned. I could feel abandoned when normal things happen. When my husband went out of town for work, I would literally flip out and find myself threatening to get a divorce, which I didn't want. Just fine, leave. Like, what? That was at the very, very beginning of our marriage. And that was like, I would think, this is nuts. Like, this doesn't make any sense. But I literally felt like I was going to die. Like, I just felt like, oh my gosh, I can't take it if he's not here. I was just so dependent on him. And that abandonment happens when you feel abandoned as a child, either physically or emotionally. And physically, I mean, my parents provided food in the house, and they did a lot of really good things for us. But emotionally, no, nobody was there to take care of my emotions. And I was kind of on my own with that. I was taking care of adults' emotions. So definitely struggled with that fear of abandonment. So when it comes to detaching, which is a very normal thing that healthy people do, healthy people know where they start and end. They're not enmeshed. Enmeshment comes from dysfunctional family where you are not developing, you don't have that separation, that individuation where okay, this is who I am, this is what I think, this is what I believe, this is what I feel. I can be separate from other people no matter how close I am to them because they have a right to feel and think and be who they are, but I don't have to change myself to get their approval. I don't have to do something that I don't believe in order to keep them happy with me. I know for myself, it was very difficult for me to detach from my husband's anger because I feared abandonment. So I felt super uncomfortable when he was angry or upset with me about something because I would think I have to fix it. I have to change it. I have to talk him out of it. I have to argue with him until he retracts it and he says, "Oh, you're right. I don't have a reason to be mad," or "I'm not mad at you anymore. Like I'm over it," because I was just so uncomfortable with him being upset. So as I got healthier and as I was able to detach and know what my own feelings and my own thoughts were and my own choices and my own beliefs, and allowed him to be separate and have his own beliefs, and I was not dependent on him like I was before. I worked through the codependency, took a while, but I did. And I was able to look at the fear, actually, with the fear of abandonment. And I made another video about this. I actually worked through the really intense fear of abandonment pretty quickly after we got married by going to a therapist, and he told me this is a fear of abandonment. This is your childhood stuff. This is not related to what is happening right now. Obviously, when your husband goes to work, he's not abandoning you, he's paying the bills. This is a good thing. So I worked through that, and I got through that by reminding myself, okay, this is when I feel this is not about now, this is about before. This is not about what's going on right now. And so I was able to talk myself through that. It took a while, but get to where that extreme abandonment was not there. But I can tell you that I have a little bit of it left. Like when we get in an argument or things aren't good, I feel that little bit of that fear and that feeling of a little bit of little tiny bit of that panic, but I can manage it and I can say, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Like I comfortable with what I said, or if I'm not comfortable, I'll take responsibility for it. I'll let him work through it, let him figure it out. And I'm able to detach. I'm able to separate myself and not be reacting out of that fear of abandonment to where I am anxiously trying to fix, anxiously trying to reconnect, anxiously trying to make him okay with me, anxiously trying to get his approval, because I'm able to stand in my own self, my own beliefs, my own thoughts, my own choices, my own feelings, and I'm able to detach, even though I'm very close to him, or same thing, whether it would be one of my children who maybe would be upset about something or disagree. I would before, years and years and years ago, try to talk them out of it and try to convince them of what my side was so they wouldn't be upset with me. And now I can let them own their own feelings. It doesn't happen very often, but I can just step back and say, hey, we're different people. It's okay. We can each have a different opinion, or if we, were to be upset with each other about something, which again doesn't happen often, but we can work through it. And we're each entitled to come from our position, our own position, and take a stand in that, whether that be disagreeing about something uh, with religion or something in the family or politics or anything. Like just where it's okay. We don't have to agree. We don't have to be enmeshed. We don't have to be over involved. We don't have to be the same. And so that's how you work through detaching when you do struggle with a fear of abandonment, is you separate out the fear of abandonment, meaning where did that come from? My childhood, my previous marriage, person that cheated on you before, and now you're reacting in the present, overreacting in the present because when you were dating, that person cheated on you and you've worked through that, but you're still having that reaction. Okay, so you separate out the fear of abandonment part that has nothing to do with what's going on right now, and then you're able to work on healthy separation to where you can become your own person, let go of that other person's opinions and feelings, and allow that person to work through them on their own while you work through yours. And that's how you detach when you have a fear of abandonment or you have had a fear of abandonment. But remind yourself, if the person is not truly abandoning you, then the fear of abandonment is related to old stuff. Old stuff is uh, old stuff, and it makes you overreact in the present. And it is something that can actually have a very negative effect on your relationship if you are overreacting to things frequently when you don't need to be. I love this scripture in Proverbs. This fits exactly. Psalm 112:7. They will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. So you're not reacting fearfully, thinking there's going to be something bad. Somebody's going to leave me. Somebody's going to abandon me. You're calm. You're steadfast. You can trust. So I hope this helped you. Thank you for watching this video on Change My Relationship. And please check out my classes because they're so very helpful, especially if you're in a dysfunctional relationship or you've been raised in a dysfunctional family. You will find so much healing. If you are codependent and you've got to work through that codependency, my classes on the 10 principles for life or life-saving principles, or I call them relationship changing principles, transforming principles. Those will absolutely help you to work through your codependency and become healthy in responding to dysfunctional people, or to become healthy from a childhood that wasn't healthy. So I hope to see you in those. Please check them out. If you have any questions, please email me. God bless you.